Okay, it says I'm live. I hope so. Guys, I hope I'm live. I'm going to try to, I've installed a new camera, and I hope the audio and the video and everything is going to be good. So you let me know. I've got a new camera over here, a new Sony A6400, and hopefully it's going to look good. I don't know. I'm trying to make sure I get the stream running good and everything else. So hopefully somebody will jump in here and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the audio and video, or let me know right quick. So let me know if the audio, the video, and everything is good, because I'm experimenting with new equipment. So let me know if you can. I'm trying to bring a little bit better content as far as the video, because they tell you that you need good audio and good video to make a better YouTube. I'm good, am I, Ryan? Okay, good. Is the audio good and the video good? I hope so. And the good points and the bad points, it is hopefully both are good. Okay, good. Hey, Ponka, how are you this morning? I hope everything's looking good for you too, Ponka. I'm going to try to, now I may look a little bit funky here a little bit, because I'm going to try to read the text, and the camera's up here. So it's not like working straight off of the, right off of the, oh, you didn't get the notification. Okay. Well, I was a little bit late getting started this morning. That may be part of the reason. I don't know. I was a little bit late. I was scrambling to get all the equipment set up. I tried it at my house, and at my house, my signal is good coming down, but my upload signal is not as good. So over here at the dealership at the Napa store, I've got a good Wi-Fi. Oh, not Wi-Fi, but it's I got it wired in direct. But I've got a good signal going and coming, uploads and downloads over here. I'm paying for a lot more bandwidth over here. So hopefully the signal's good. Does it look good on your end, Ponka? Hey, James, how are you? Glad to see you. I hope you're doing good, and you're about ready to start working with me too, James, if you can. Yeah, I'm trying to, hopefully this camera, like I said, the camera hopefully is going to be a good bit better than the previous camera I had. I don't know. Can y'all tell a difference on the camera? I hope the clarity is a good bit better. I may drop it. I got it up here pretty high. Excuse me a second. I'm going to drop it down a little bit on the height, so it won't be up as high. I was running so late. That now I got it. I'm out. I'm watching myself here. I'm out of frame now. So let me do some adjustments here. There, I'm probably a little bit better in frame, and hopefully that's a little bit better. Now you can see all my gray hair and everything. Not that you couldn't before. Yeah, the new 6400 camera hopefully will give me a lot better situation and everything. And plus I got what they call a video switcher too. I can do multiple cameras with it. I put a little bit of money into my camera stuff, my camera equipment. So I'm trying to increase or make a better video if I can, because that's what they tell you. You need. Yeah, I'm out of frame here, aren't I? I'm trying to frame this as best I can, get it over on my tripod there. But you know, I'm trying to do that. One more adjustment here. I can. I'm my own cameraman and my own audio specialist, so you'll have to bear with me a second. Okay, now I think I've got mostly me in the camera shot and not out of whack too bad. It's easy to do. Easy to do. I'm gonna try to let me see if I can get my. I don't want to unplug anything here. I've got all my wiring and everything. I kind of haphazardly moved things, and I did. Okay, guys, am I back online? Okay, I know I hit something just then and it messed it up. Can you give me a thumbs up or thumbs down now? I'm hoping I'm right. I believe I'm back online. Okay. Okay, I'm back online. Well, what I was doing, like I said, I was moving my laptop because I'm trying to get the best video and audio that I possibly can for everybody. Plus, I want to be able to see the chat room and be able to converse with everybody. So that's what I'm doing. But you know, it's tough sometimes. It's tough to be able to get everything lined up just perfect and all that sort of stuff. But we'll do the best we can. I believe that my text is backwards, isn't it? Is that reading backwards? That's reading backwards up there, isn't it? That's Cherville Auto and Truck. Either that or I'm looking backwards on the screen here. I believe it's got that reversed. I may have to see a setting on that and change that. But everything's going good this week, pretty much. I did have one family tragedy. My mother's youngest sister passed away, and we had a funeral there. She's been suffering with Parkinson's for a number of years, and we lost her this past week and had her funeral Friday. But all is well other than that. That was not really unexpected. We were already prepared for that because she had been in such bad shape. But you know, as far as everything else, we're running strong with the trucks. We're putting on 2 more runs up in Hickory, North Carolina. We're getting drivers lined up for that. We're working hard trying to get all the equipment in tip-top shape for peak, because peak will kick our butt usually. I mean, we've got to get all of our spare trucks and everything ready really good, because peak can really, you know, take its toll on us and everything. But you know, let me know what y'all guys are up against this week and what y'all are, you know. I'm watching the chat here as I can, best I can. So hopefully everything's going good out there. James, now fill me in, James. I can't remember. I remember talking to you. If you got your 1 year's experience, I need 1 year's experience. You got to have your doubles endorsement, and you know, 1 year's experience over the road with somebody, doesn't matter who, and then doubles endorsement, and then a clean driving record, and then we're pretty well set to go. You know, that's where we need to be on that, James. Okay, so you still have not worked for anybody yet. That's the downfall. They do require the experience. You got to have. It's not bad. It's 1 year's experience. I thought when I talked to you last that you were actually working for somebody. That's the pitfall. The only other thing you can do is if you've been in a school, if you've taken truck driving school. You drove for the Navy. Okay, the Navy helps. but you'd still have to. I think you'd still have to drive on a team, do a team run. And I don't have any team runs. You'd have to drive a team run for about 6 months. Then after you've done that for 6 months with FedEx, then they will let you run single. So now, what's your location, James? You, I don't know where your location is. I remember a little bit. I was thinking you were in the Texas or Florida area. I can't remember. I have so many. Oh, you're in Buffalo, New York. No, I had you entirely wrong, didn't I? If you can get a hold of a team driver or somebody, and there should be plenty in the Buffalo area. I don't know where the nearest hub is for Buffalo. I mean, I know they got a huge hub over at. Let's see, Buffalo's north. I'm trying to think. Oh, I really don't know. I don't know where the hubs are in the Buffalo area. I'd have to really think. I know they've got them in the New York City proper area. We're right outside. They got them in New Jersey. That's where they got them, right across the river from New York City. But they, I don't know where the hub is in the Buffalo area. But I would check around or even, I know you can't get on with the local. Check around and see where the nearest hub is. And there should be some sort of hub, somebody running team run. And of course, if it's team, you could run out of New York City, I guess, depending on how far Buffalo is from there. Yeah, even though you have all that, you still don't have driving experience, and that's what they're gonna. The key to it is the driving experience to be able to say that you can drive that truck proficiently. I mean, they need that. That their insurance requires that. Now, if you run with a team, and like I said, you can just do 6 months, and then after you get the 6 months, now don't. I had there's another gentleman that's been talking to me, and he tried a team for about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, and then he quit because he didn't like it. And then he wanted to know if he could go with me because he got on with FedEx. Well, no, that was the same thing. It still needed that 6 months. You needed the 6 months, and I forget how many miles they figure into the 6 months too. But I mean, it's easily obtained within 6 months. But that's the requirement that you'll have to have. So, you need to get that in under your belt. You get that under your belt, and you'll be good to go. You'll be golden. And once you do that, then you can sign on with somebody single. Now, are you wanting to stay in the Buffalo area, James? Yeah, now you can go to Swift. You can go to Swift, James. Yeah, I understand. Now Swift will take you. Now that's if you want to do Swift, they'll take you straight out, just like what you're saying. Once you get that experience with Swift, if you get a year's experience with Swift and some of these other guys, then you're good to move on to better carriers. Swift, Snyder, and a couple of the others will take you with little or no experience. I will tell you that. So I would suggest going to Swift if that's what you want to do, and just endure the pain. The pay's not as good, the benefits are not as good, and that sort of stuff. But if you get the experience under your belt, then you can move on to better things. That's what I would do. Yeah, I understand. Well, good morning, Greg. How are you this morning? I'm experimenting over here. I've got a new camera, as I was telling everybody. I hope the picture's good where you're at. Hopefully the audio and the picture is way better than it has been. It looks great on my end. I don't know, of course, once you do a live video, you never know exactly how good it comes up. But yeah, it's a real good camera. It's a Sony A400. I believe that's right, A400. No, I'm getting it mixed up. Anyway, it's good. A6400. That's what it is. I keep getting all this camera lingo messed up. All the camera people are probably fussing at me, say, "Oh, you don't even know what kind of camera you got," and really, I don't. Sometimes it's just I'm not a camera aficionado. Well, I know Swift, JC. I mean, Swift is not the best company, but it will still help somebody catapult themselves past that. I mean, we hire a lot of people that have been on with Swift. Swift is not the best company to put yourself in, but if you've got to get a year's experience, that's better than nothing. JC, how's the camera coming? I put a new camera on this. Are you getting it good in Ohio? Hey, Chris, how are you this morning? My turnover, we don't turn over many drivers. We keep adding drivers. I've got drivers that have been with me 20 plus years, 20 years, 10 years, 15 years, 5, 6 years. I don't have a lot of turnover. Now, that being said, I mean, we always have a certain element that is going to turn over, but I don't have a huge turnover as far as what some companies do. I mean, I have. I mean, there are always going to be guys that are always, the grass is greener, and you're always going to have that. But as far as having a guys leaving every few weeks, no, I don't have that problem. But we always gear ourselves up to prepare for somebody leaving, and I always want to keep some extra guys in the wings, you might say, and keep them busy. So if a guy on a regular shift leaves, then I can place him in that without any problem. I have a mechanic that's a licensed driver, and my brother that does all kind of different things for me. He's my fill-in driver too, and so that I try to keep myself prepared for that. And we have a lot of vacations, and people get sick, and people are going to have personal problems. So we have to prepare ourselves for that. So with the size we are, we usually keep enough drivers. I've got drivers that will do odd shifts, in other words, work a night shift one week, work a day shift the next week, run this week, another one next week. So we have people that will do that. And then I have the regular guys that are on their regular route every single day. Most of mine are regular routes. I do have a few flexibles, not many. We got these new ones in Hickory that are flexible, and they will go different routes, different places, different times. And in Savannah, we're putting on extras that way also. I don't have any out of Charlotte like that because I really don't. That's my home base, and I really don't want to do that because it's if I can maintain the ones in Charlotte as is, I'm happy, and that's good for me. Yeah, well, vacation. You and I take workcations, JC. JC came down to see me last year. Of course, it was a workcation. He and Brenda came down, and JC's a worker. He came down. He slept in a truck in my shop, he and Brenda. So as we were working to get the truck ready and a trailer ready and all that sort of stuff, and then he sold another truck and that. So I guess that's the kind of vacations JC goes on. He did go to Tennessee. Now, you did go to Tennessee last year. I know that. But that's about the most vacation I saw JC doing in the past year. And it's, yeah, well, that's true. JC will never miss an opportunity. He won't make a mistake making an opportunity to get something that he can get. I ran across some great stuff. I did a JC this past week. Napa was able to give me some a good deal on some things, so I'll have to tell you about that offline one day, JC. But I was able to get some take advantage. I took advantage. They're moving from one DC to another DC, and they needed some help, so they called on me with my trucking company, and then by doing that enabled me to get some good deals on some things that they were moving out anyway. So I felt really good about that. And you got to take advantage of those things, because it's not always what you sell it for. You got to buy it right and sell it right. So that's what you got to do, and that's what I was able to do this past week with that. So the Napa thing came through pretty good. They came by Thursday and we were discussing things, and they said, can you do this, this, and this? And we need a trailer down at the warehouse tomorrow. And I go, and for what price? And they told me, and I go, I'll be down there at 8:00 with bells on. So I was able to do that and get a real good deal. Yeah, we all like days off, but I'm like JC in that respect. And all my years, even when I'm on vacation, and if you want to call it vacation, sometimes I'm thinking about how can I make another dollar? How can I do this? Or look at this business and it's doing this, this, and this that way. Would I do that? You always have to have the mind working. And so in that respect, I never go on vacation. My mind is never on vacation. I may be relaxing body-wise a little bit more, but generally speaking, the phones are always with me. My wheeling and dealings are always going on. I've called JC from time to time on the phone, and Chris both. Me and Chris both were talking, deals, and you got to keep thinking these things. You always say, hey, that would be cool, or this would be cool, or I'd like to do this or do that, and blend it in with your vacation, and it's not too bad. And then it's not a bad vacation, not in my mind. I mean, I like to make a dollar, that's for sure. Whew. Uh-oh. You sold a bunch. JC sold a bunch. Okay. Yeah, you did exactly like me, Jason. I usually go to stuff like that and I end up buying more than I sell. That's like the sale I went to in Shelby about almost 2 months ago. I bought a bunch of big industrial equipment, sold it to a guy in Michigan, and we had it shipped out to Michigan and everything. And I didn't need a piece of equipment, but I definitely took advantage of buying that piece of equipment right. And he bought another piece of equipment via the online part. And we made money disassembling that and getting it ready to ship. And I did well with both of those. So, things like that pay off. And sometimes some better than others. You never know. Well, they sold the camper for $3,000 more than you want. Ooh. Now, I don't know how many campers you got left. Now, every time I turn, now, do you still have the motorhome? You had a motorhome, you had a fifth wheel camper, a pull behind camper. How many campers you have now, JC? About 3 or 4. I know you had a right many at one time. JC won't do an aerial view of his place because people will go, oh my God, he has a lot of stuff. Yeah. The aerial view would probably, you'd have to have a wide angle lens and a big aerial view. It would be hard to do yours, wouldn't it, JC? Yeah, yeah. JC's probably he's having to make loan because JC's not a banker. You've heard him say that before, Chris. He's not a banker, so I doubt he's making loans to anybody. Okay, and you sold the motor home then, did you? You know, I didn't see a video of you selling the motor home, but I guess it's gone because you hadn't got time to video every single thing you sell either. I know you moved it pretty quick and everything. Yeah, it can be taxing to keep up with every bit of it. I've been busy. We did. I had to tear up my driveway, and I put in 30 yards of concrete. My old concrete is 40 something years old, and it had gotten cracked up pretty bad in some spots. And I'm having a 50th high school reunion in 3 weeks at my house. So I've got all my classmates and everything coming to my house, and the wife didn't want that old ratty looking driveway to, she wanted it gone. So I took the time to tear up that driveway, and I got a good friend of mine that's great in concrete work. And so I got him to help me with concrete, and we poured 30 yards, and it looks really good. It looks really good now. So I'm proud of it. We poured it a little bit thicker than I originally had. So it's nice. Yeah, I saw that Chris. How you coming on the vet? Have you got the vet to turn over yet? Or have you tried that? Of course, that dash is all to pieces. Chris bought a Corvette. What year model is that, Chris? About an 81 or 82 model Corvette, or 83? He bought a Corvette that somebody had disassembled a lot of the inside of it and everything and all that. But the motor looked good. I don't know what, was that a L88 motor? I don't even know what motor was in that. Oh, it needs fuel system work. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you get into with some of that. Now you can spend thousands of dollars on that fuel system and getting all the parts and pieces back together like that. It's going to take a genius like JC to figure out that dash. JC's good with wiring, but I don't know what he's told you about the wiring on that. So if you've got the Corvette running now? Yeah. Well, you got a great deal on that Corvette, that's for sure. I mean, heck, I've never seen one go in this area that cheap. I mean, so you did really good on buying that Corvette. So I think you should come out really good on when you put it all back together. Yeah, well, if you can get it all back together, and when I've seen you do and everything, I feel like you can probably do pretty good with it. Okay. Yeah, I start to say, yeah, you don't want to sell it for 100. So you're going to try to get a grand out. See, if you can get a grand out of it, you're going to let it go. Yeah, that would probably be a good deal if I had something out here like that. I don't know what. I'm not a big Corvette person. I've got a buddy of mine. He's a Corvette fanatic, but he buys them new, and He buys them new. He's bought 4 brand new ones and has very little mileage on any of them. Yeah, Chris, did you find out anything about that comet that we were talking about? I'd be interested to see if you let me text me sometime if you know anything about it. Yeah, yeah, Corvettes. I would be afraid. I mean, you'd have to, because you got a lot of parts and everything with that Corvette too, didn't you? Didn't you have almost half of another dash and everything else that guy had with that when you bought it? Yeah, if you can find out about that comment, uh, let me know. Since I'm a Ford guy, I like a lot of Fords. Uh, I've got I've got my A model, my Mustangs. I got 2 Mustangs. Yeah, that Comet looked pretty good. I wasn't thrilled on the paint. The paint job's a little bit wild, and that velour type interior. I couldn't. I'd have to put something over that. I can't. That's the type interior that I can't even stand to sit in because it just. I don't know. It gives me the gives me the heebie-jeebies, as they call it, when you got a velour type fabric. I just, or suede. I can't stand suede. Suede. I don't like suede or corduroy or that velvet looking stuff. I don't know. I can't even touch it. It just does not. It crawls my skin for some reason or another. Yeah, yeah. It was their own personal style. That's for sure. Yeah, it wasn't the style that I particularly like. It was their own personal style. Yeah, yeah, very 70ish. Yeah, Elvis probably would have liked it because it looks like something that Elvis has in his jungle room. I think uh, if you've ever been to Memphis and seen Graceland, they got all that preserved exactly the way it was the day that Elvis died in the mid 70s, and that was the style in the 70s. The velour, the the shag carpet, and all that crazy stuff. Even keep kitchen appliances and stoves and refrigerators. They were all that green and yellow and that kind of weird looking colors that everybody was doing back then, and everybody had paneling. I mean, you can look at this right here that I painted over. That's pretty good thick paneling. This is a thicker paneling, but this building was built in 1969, so we have to. And I remember this room. It had it was dark. It was the dark paneling in this room back in 1969 when they opened this dealership up. Yeah, I like to keep cars pretty original if I can on certain things. That's like our little Mustang. We haven't touched a thing. I mean it's a 6-cylinder. The seats are all the same. Uh, the interior. I mean, nothing's been changed on it at all. That's as original as I've got. I mean, I guess I could have put a V8. I could have put a 289 in it and made it a little more up to date. I haven't done that yet, and it wouldn't hurt in some ways to put a crate motor in there and update the brake systems. The brake system is lacking, and that's one thing I really don't like on my little Mustang is the brake system is just not there. Yeah, I'm I'd like to, be able to uh, keep certain things. Now my A model, I'm trying to make it just a good little hot rod. Now that's going to please me as far as a hot rod is concerned. But the rest of them, I've got two Mustang convertibles. My son bought his new back in 90, it's a 94 or 95. I think it's a 95 model. And I've got it covered up, and hopefully I'll restore it back to its prime we first got that car. And it's a nice little car. It's a it's a V6 with a 5-speed, and it's a convertible. It's a nice looking car, and we'll probably fix the paint job up on it, and the wheels and interior and everything. But the other Mustang, I'm going to keep original just like it is, pretty much. Maybe the braking system. Like I said, I'm not real thrilled with those old mechanical brakes. I wouldn't mind having disc brakes on it. I got disc brakes on my coupe, and I like to be able to stop. That's for sure. You get something moving down the road, you want to be able to stop. You don't want to hit the brakes and it takes a country mile to stop. And that's what you get with some of these older braking systems. And that's the scariest thing I think about driving some of the old vintage vehicles is the braking system. Yeah. No, I don't have a Fox body on anything, if that's what you're asking. No, everything I've got's original. I don't. Yeah, they've got disc brake options for the 68. I mean, that's a 68 Mustang, and yeah, I can put disc brakes on it. I've already checked, and uh, so I'm fortunately for me, with owning a parts store, I'm able to obtain a lot of different things that and have easy access to things. I don't have the mechanics. I wish in a way that I had the mechanics here, and one day maybe I can open up a service bay or rent out my service area to somebody to put a Napa service center there. If we could do that, then I think that would give me a little bit more room. Maybe I could take some of the mechanics to help me project on some things. But now the wife might not like that either. She wouldn't want me getting too many projects ahead and that sort of stuff. But that's part of the fun. That's part of the fun. That sometimes you just gotta to be able to keep people busy. Sometimes you can do a little side project and keep somebody busy. As long as you don't take them away from the productive things that they're supposed to do, then you're in pretty good shape. Yeah. Um, I don't know about the stock wheels. I wouldn't be opposed to changing out the wheels anyway. Uh, I don't think that detracts too much. I mean, I think I could get some. I mean, I've got wired hubcaps on it now on the Mustang, and I feel like I could get some other, from what I've read and checked and everything, I could get some wheels that would look pretty stock. May not be the actual per se stock wheels, but I'm not opposed to doing that. As it keeps the most of it looking pretty good, I'll be happy with that. Well, let's see. Well, I about talked 45 minutes, guys. It's about as much as I've got in me today. I'm gonna probably call it quits for right now. I've enjoyed talking to everybody. Hopefully, we chatted around and we got a few things off our chest. Yeah, okay. But hopefully the new camera works good, and I'll try to get the video switcher and multiple camera angles and a few other things working good, and show you that. I kind of rushed through it today, but I hope it looks pretty good. So let me know. I'll catch you later, guys, and I'm gonna call it quits for today. See you next week.